Well, the wind is blowing about 25 with gusts up to 50. So I'm going to go inside and work on the tractor because I can't really do anything else. It's supposed to be 70 degrees today. That ain't too bad for February 18th. Not too bad. Well, let's have a look at the tractor, see what we got going on here. We've got our water outlet on. This is our temperature gauge. I'm not going to screw that in because I don't have any water in it yet. I've kind of put the, this is my own deal. I brazed a hose clamp on this, and it wraps around the housing of the fan shaft, and it kind of keeps things, I don't know what was there originally, and my wires to my magneto, they go down to the spark plugs. I put my spark plugs in, and my petcocks are closed, clipped on my leads. I threw a screw in the other side. I didn't put a screw in this side. Have my manifold on. The torque on that was Guten-Tight. That's a German torquing method. If you haven't figured that out, I don't know what it is, but I cranked her down pretty good. Probably, oh, I bet you there's 80 pounds on there anyways. Probably about the same on my water intake. I don't know if that's right or not. I don't know what I torqued these at. Just tightened them up really good. Got a good smash out of that gasket material there. I rolled the engine over and made sure everything was smooth and everything was alright. When I put my starter on, I looked at it and I said, maybe it's not far enough. Maybe that actually went in there another 1/8 of an inch or 1/4 of an inch. And of course, if the flywheel went in this way a little bit more, the ring gear would attach better. But as you can see, I can right here, but if I push any farther, it will crank. It will crank the engine. So, and it goes perfectly right to the edge. As soon as I push that, it goes right to that edge. And there's a nice little gap between the starter and the flywheel, or the engine cover housing. It's right. So I know it's right. But I knew I was right here with this gap being in here because there's all this crud that was in there that I didn't clean out. And I could tell how far the flywheel went onto the crankshaft. So we're good. Put a shot of grease in my bearing there, my bushing. I have the positive side going to the plus side of my battery. I have no accessories attached to it, so I don't have to worry about any of my wires dangling or anything like that. It's not a big deal. I did make sure my magneto wasn't grounded, and that I'm handy that I can ground it. So if the engine goes awry, I can shut it off that way, or I can shut it off this way as well. You know, all I have to do is pull that back. Used to shut it off, so it should be alright. So I have my battery hooked up. I did test it and cranked it last night, and it cranks fine. Everything's great. I'm going to put my carburetor on. I'm going to leave the exhaust manifold open. When you put your belt on, make sure your belt isn't over this loop here, because you won't get it forward. Hopefully it won't catch in the fan or anything and do something crazy. I was going to have it over the edge there, but I'll have it not contacting anything. Probably going to clip this up here close to the battery, because gas and battery is really safe. No, just joking. I don't know, I'll have it back here or something. I'll clip it on with a pair of vice grips or something, pour a little gas in there so the gas will run to the carburetor just enough to get it started, fill the float bowl and see if it runs. I'm going to work my clutch, and since I'm going to work my clutch, I need to fill the transmission with oil, because when the clutch spins, it will turn the gear, which will turn the reduction gear, which will be spinning the gearbox inside. So I'm going to make sure it's a neutral, and then make sure my clutch is off, and it is. I'm going to use some 80/90. 80/90 is fine with me. Probably fine with this tractor. The plug is over here. You want to put a little Teflon tape on it, and what that'll do is it'll seal it, yes, but it'll also prevent it from, rusting to the body, or fusing itself where you can't get it off. Like the bottom plug. The bottom plug, it was incredible trying to get it off. So what I did, could have got another plug, but there really isn't a good wrench to fit that. Maybe there is, I don't know, but I'm cheap, and I have a grinder. So I ground that to a 1/2 inch. It doesn't look very big, but it fits quite nicely on a 1/2 inch. So I could use, say, this tie rod adjusting knuckle, and I could use a wrench on it and be able to lever that off of there that way. Because with the open end wrench, it just seemed to spread the jaws, and it wasn't very good. This will work much better. I even might make up something, weld up something, just a special tool that I can use to take that off. But I ground that down to a 1/2 inch. It's not perfect, but this fits quite well on it, and I'll be able to take that off. That's a drain plug, and of course our drain plug was full of spooge, so I took and cleaned it all out. Probably the bottom of the transmission is also full of spooge, but that's probably for another day. Well, I might drain it one day and fill it with kerosene and run it around a little bit, and then drain it out again. I don't know if that'll whip any of that crap at the bottom off, but who knows. Our carburetor, we hung and we shot a little clear on it. Let me show you what I was using. Here we go. Rust-Oleum matte clear enamel. A lot of people paint their tractor all green. Everything's green. Even the hoses, the hose clamps. I'm not into that. I don't like doing that. And if you want to paint your tractor like that, that's fine. Whatever you want to do, that's all right. I like the individual parts, and since this is prone to rust, if you shoot it with a little clear, it prevents that slightly. What I was using to paint with is this Rust-Oleum farm equipment, and they have it in green. They have it in yellow as well, but I got myself a little attachment like this, a little attachment gun, and you can't believe how nice of a job you can do with this stuff. Warm your paint up before you use it. It's been sitting outside, so it's probably 40 degrees, so if I'm going to do any painting, I'm going to put it in some warm water and warm it up. I try to paint in warm conditions, not where it's really cold. The whole secret to a paint job is preparation. Preparation is the whole secret. You prep your paint job, prep your surface, sand it well, knock all the old paint off. I've even used an air impact on some real stubborn parts where there's lots of paint built up, and knocked all the paint off. It's kind of what I did around here, and used a wire wheel and whatnot like that, and I got a lot of paint off. I'm going to take and clean this all up and probably shoot it again really carefully. You know, just to put something on it. It's not going to have to be perfect. It's so easy. You can park this thing out in the garage and the wind blowing and it gets dirty so quick. You know, if you want to clear coat your tractor, I think that's blasphemy. But you go right ahead and put a, you know, $3,000 paint job on your tractor. If that's what you want to do, you know, if you got the money, you go right ahead. But I'm doing mine out of a can because I know what's going to happen. It's going to get scratched and bumped and that kind of thing. And it makes for easy touch-up as well. So, and it looks alright. You know, it's green. People look at it and go, wow, that's nice. What year is it? Well, it's 70 years old. You're kidding. Yeah, so anyways, I'm going to get to work here. And if I get the carburetor and some oil in it, or some gear oil in it, we should be able to start it, if it'll start.